Welcome everybody, welcome back to Homestead Heart. And in today's video, you all saw the title, you all saw the thumbnail, and this is something that we felt like we needed to discuss with you all.
Yes, and it's very important.
Yeah.
It's a big deal to a lot of people. It affects everything they do every day because everybody needs food. Everybody
needs food. We've all seen the changes coming to people that receive EBT benefits for their families, okay? And I know I've been kind of following that politically, and even following it, just kind of looking at the comments during the news reports and all of that. The comments have been absolutely ridiculous. You know, it just kind of shows the immaturity of people and their thinking, right?
Yeah.
Because, you know, a lot of the comments were extremely negative.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, there are so many people who receive EBT benefits and Medicaid for their children. And they work every single day.
Yeah.
They work every single day. But the fact of the matter is that what they're being paid doesn't match what they have to pay for rent. It doesn't match what they have to pay for utilities. It doesn't match the high gas prices that they have to put in their vehicles in order to make it back and forth to work, to get the children back and forth to school, to their doctor's appointments and all of that. It just doesn't match, right? So you have a lot of families that are doing the absolute best that they can to take care of their families. And they still need EBT benefits, and they still need Medicaid for their young growing children.
Yes. And you think about it, you look at the minimum wage. I just know the minimum wage is just ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know, and when
it's not even at $10 an hour, is it?
No, I think it's probably like $7 or $8 or something.
Come on, who's living on $8 an hour, y'all?
Yeah.
Who can live like that? $8 an hour? And what are you doing on $8 an hour?
Yeah.
That you can even make it?
Yeah, and I know you got people that's making more than that, and they don't feel that because they don't need EBT.
Yeah.
But they don't sympathize with the people that need it.
Need it, right?
You know?
And that's the sad part about this, because, see, we don't think that we are a banana peel away from being in that same predicament, right? I mean, just think about pre-pandemic, how well a lot of people were doing.
Yeah.
But when the doors to their own businesses closed, not them working for somebody, I'm talking about businesses that they owned, and they were saying all over the news, I've been an entrepreneur my whole life, or I've worked my whole life, and I've never needed this, and I've never needed that. But now I need it. That's the only way I can take care of my family. Now, I know somebody's going to say, well, Mrs. H, they're just talking about they can't buy snack foods and all that kind of stuff. You know, unhealthy snack foods and all that. I mean, what snack food is healthy? When you think about it, what snack food is healthy? Unless you're talking about carrots and celery. And how many children do you know love carrots and celery? So, and now there are some healthy snacks that mom can make or dad can make at home. But you're talking about thousands upon thousands of people that do not have that skill set at this time, right? They don't know how to do that at this time. Not everybody has the time to be in the kitchen or at the dining room table researching healthy snacks. Some people are working 2 jobs just to make ends meet, right? So it's kind of rough, in my opinion, to throw everybody in one basket and say it's good that this is happening for them, right? And let me tell you why we say that. It's not really so much as about the snacks for us. It's more so about where this road is going. Yeah.
And so do you think that, I'm thinking that maybe, are they really trying to tell us something in a way to get us to do something different for ourselves, to go into a different direction Okay, we getting EBT. Okay, so we can't buy snack foods. So we got to buy healthy foods, right? So by saying that, I guess we got to do something for self. We got to start learning how to garden.
Yeah.
We got to start.
And the other part of that is that overreach, right? Overreach.
Mm-hmm.
At what point will it be, well, you can't buy the snacks, the junk food anymore, the soda pops and all of that, right? I hear that.
What's the
I'm
next
not a
step?
fan of soda pops and all that other junk food either, right?
Yeah.
I'm not either. But this ain't about me. This is about me being empathetic to those who need to learn a skill set, who need to be prepared, because at the end of the day, children love snacks.
Yeah.
They love their snack foods. And until mama can learn how to make some healthy snack treats or have the time to do so, or don't tell them that they can buy healthy snacks.
Mm-hmm.
Don't tell them to go buy healthy snacks when you know how much healthy snacks cost.
Yeah.
Right? A healthy snack versus an unhealthy snack, you're going to pay 3 times as much for that.
Mm-hmm.
So buying a healthy snack, no, that's going to be, that's going to be obsolete altogether.
Yeah.
Right? Now, yeah, mama can buy some potatoes and make her own potato chips at home. Absolutely, she can.
Mm-hmm.
But what about where this road is leading? Like I said, for me, it's not really about they can't have sodas or
chips.
You
cookies.
know, and Oreos and stuff like that. It's not so much as that. It's the overreach. It's like what's coming down the road.
Yeah, because that first step isn't really the main move.
No.
You know.
It's the beginning.
Yes, it's the beginning.
Yeah.
So a lot of people that's real comfortable about, like thinking that things are going to remain the same, because it always changes.
It's going to change.
Just like in the pandemic, things change. During this time when people just getting the EBT cards and buying different things, they're going to change.
Yeah.
So you got to really start learning a different skill set, like Mrs. Ace talked about. I would say learn how to garden on a small level.
Yeah, if you're not already.
Yeah. Learn how to cook, even if you have to bake your own cookies, like Grandma used to do, bake those sugar cookies.
Yeah.
Start
That's
from the
a
base.
very good point. Because when we were growing up, it wasn't no buying no cookies. The cookies that we ate were tea cakes.
Yeah.
We didn't have no whole bunch of other options for cookies. If mama or Madea or Big Mama, whatever they made, it was either going to be a cake or it was going to be tea cakes or some kind of pie or something. But it wasn't something that they bought out of the store. It was something that they made. And if they made sugar cookies or something like that, then, that's what they made.
Yeah.
But I'm going to tell you something. Again, with the overreach, telling people what they can and cannot purchase, listen to me. And I hope you hear me. Like Mr. H said, see, this is the beginning.
Yeah.
At some point, they're going to be telling you how much meat you can buy for your family. They're going to be telling you can only buy so much meat per month, right? They're going to be telling you whether you can buy fresh or frozen, right? They're going to be telling you, well, no, if you're getting EBT, you can't buy this kind of milk. You got to buy this kind of milk. So you can't buy the high quality milk. You got to buy the cheap chemicalized watered down version of the milk if you're getting EBT. You can't buy cereals that got sugar in it. You can only buy kind of like WIC.
Yeah.
If you're getting WIC, there's certain things you cannot buy. I mean, you cannot get on WIC. So you can't get fruity pebbles and Fruit Loops and stuff like that on WIC. So at some point they're going to be telling you what kind of cereal you can only buy. Frosted mini wheats.
Yeah.
You can only buy the regular Cheerios, not the Cheerios with the honey nut and the berries. You can only buy the plain Cheerios if you buy Cheerios.
So what it all boils down to, so you got to have your own fruit, your own vegetables.
Yeah.
So basically.
But think about the overreach though. That's the part I really want people to focus on.
The overreach. Is
that at some point, I want you to look at where this is going. This is going in a direction that is not going to be good for anybody. Yeah. Not to mention the Medicaid.
Oh, wow.
The cuts being made to Medicaid. Medicaid already is not good anyway.
Yeah.
For a lot of young families, Medicaid already do the minimum, and you finna cut the minimum. So yeah, it's fixing to be a lot of people are about to suffer. But like Mr. H said, the solution, I'm gonna tell you now, the solution here, because we see, if you don't listen, if you don't hear nothing else I say, I hope you take what I'm about to tell you to heart, especially if you are getting EBT. This is going to change again. It is not going to be that you just cannot buy a bunch of snacks. This is about to change again. Watch what I tell you. Yeah. I'm not saying it's going to be today. I'm not saying it's going to be this year, but I'm telling you it's going to be another modification.
Yeah.
And that modification is going to be so restrictive to you. It's not going to be to your benefit. It's going to be to your detriment.
Yeah.
Trust me.
And then you can just look around. I know it's another video, but you can just look around any major city and just see the condition of the cities and just know that those people, they already got something planned ahead of time, all the time.
All the time, you all.
So basically what Mrs. H was talking about when they're cutting all these benefits, is just the beginning.
It is.
It's the beginning of plan A, B, C, D, E, F, G. They got
element of PQ.
They got it all lined out.
That's right. So, and you know who's going to suffer? The poor.
Yeah.
So if you are poor, and which is struggling to make ends meet, who not doing that now? Who not doing that nowadays, right? So if we fall into a system that is not really helping to guide people into a better direction, right? If you're going to take something from, you should give something to, right? So if you're going to take away the fact that you can't buy healthy, these fattening and sugary snacks and all of that, well, perhaps there should be a class to go right along with that directly from them. Since you taking it, you can give them a class teaching them, okay, let me show you, if you want potato chips, let me show you how to make a healthy version.
Yeah, and to think about it, those classes should have been in school a long time ago.
They took home economics out of the school.
They took a lot of things, and then when you did take these classes, they wasn't good teachers to really put you in that situation to where you can graduate and make a living out.
No, you didn't have a lot of that.
These skills.
But home economics was very important when I was in high school, because it gave you the basics of how to sew, the basics of how to cook, and cook from scratch, not with a bunch of box stuff, right? Not with a bunch of box stuff, but how to make things from scratch.
Yeah.
You understand? So when they came out with something like Hamburger Helper.
Oh, no. Ooh,
everybody liked Hamburger Helper when I was growing up. But that was the best thing since sliced bread. All you got to do is add your ground beef to it, right? But in truth, it was not very healthy.
No, it wasn't.
Because it was filled with so much. And if they really want to start being real about it and start talking about unhealthy things, well, you know what? That's the entire center of the grocery store.
Yeah. That's
all of it. Because that means now you ain't buying nothing in boxes, nothing in packages or those little pouches, right? So that means everything that you're buying is fresh or frozen. That's it. So that takes away, what, 80% of the grocery store?
Yeah. And then see, even though the snacks are very unhealthy though, a lot of them are not even natural.
Yeah.
You know, bioengineered.
Chemicals.
All of them, you look at the labels, they not even natural.
They're not.
So mainly this could be a blessing in disguise.
Yeah.
So what we can do.
If you're wise.
If you're wise, you can do something different with your money.
Yeah.
You can buy stuff that's healthy. You know, we got this technology on YouTube. Why not use it to our advantage?
Right.
If we're not wise enough to know how to bake sugar cookies, how to even make your own pizza. You can get your own vegetables, you can get your dough.
Make it yourself.
You can make your own pizzas.
It's not hard.
You know, you can make your own burgers at home.
Yeah.
You don't have to go to McDonald's.
Right.
You know, but with EBT, you know, find out what you can do, what you can buy to grow something natural, to at least learn.
Yeah.
You know,
and that's a good point.
Yeah. Yeah. So, you know, they coming at us in this way, and they speaking to us in a language that we gotta look. What are they really telling us?
You gotta look deeper. You gotta get off the surface, and you gotta go deeper. You can't just take this at face value. You need to look down the road and see what this means. If you remember, Mrs. H was telling y'all, I don't know, what, 3-4 years ago, that something like this was coming, right?
Yeah.
I said this a few years back. Go look back at my videos. I mean, you'll see. I said this was coming. But yeah, I said this was gonna happen, right? And the same solution that I gave you then is the same solution that I'm going to give you right now. The same solution I gave you then is the same solution I'm going to give you right now. If you are on EBT benefits, you see the changes that are coming. What can you do with those benefits? Y'all, go buy yourself some seeds from the store. Any grocery store, girl.
Oh.
Any grocery store, Walmart specifically, I'm going to say Walmart because I don't know about any other place. Specifically in their garden center, they have seeds.
Yeah.
Take some of your benefits and buy them while you can.
Yes.
Because I guarantee you down the road, they're going to stop that too.
Fruit
Just
trees. Let me go.
Okay. Y'all, Mowgli is on something else today.
She is.
She on something else today, something different, boy.
Yeah.
But listen, take those benefits, go buy yourself some seeds. If they still have fruit trees and you have a yard, buy yourself a few of them. You know, think about what grows well in your area. And listen, if you're in the South, well, of course, if you like peaches, you can't go wrong with a peach tree. You can't go wrong with pear trees. You can't go wrong with apple trees, right?
Plum trees.
You can those little grapevine packages that they have in the garden center. Buy yourself a few of those grapevines, a few raspberries. Find somewhere for them to go if you got a yard.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if you have a little money, you know, just saved up, even if you have about $20, $30, buy you some heirloom seeds, some good seeds that you can grow food. Then you can get the seeds, you can save them, you know, do whatever, you know, that'll help you in the long run,
In the long run, you gotta think down the road, y'all. You gotta think down the road.
Yeah.
You can't just think short term, and you can't think like, I mean, I guarantee you, there are so many people right now who receive EBT benefits that never thought that something like this would happen. In fact, many of you told me that it wouldn't happen, that they're, you know, that they can't tell you what to buy with your EBT benefits, right? Many of you said that to me. And sure enough, here we are, they telling you what you can buy with your benefits, right? It might be 3-4 years after the fact, but here we are and they telling you. So now I'm telling you again, at some point, they're going to be telling you how much meat you can buy.
Yeah, a wise man once told me, never get too comfortable.
Never get too comfortable.
When you get real comfortable, when you just think everything's going to be all right, that's not a good place to be. You got to always be thinking, hey, you know, I got to make sure I make a move. I'm looking at more than one season. I'm looking at least 5 or 6 seasons of eating and growing my own stuff.
Right.
You know, I'm going to start right now. It's not too late, but if you just keep thinking that everything's going to be okay, these people still going to give me my my food stamps, my EBT, and I'm going to be okay for the next 5 years. I don't think so. I think,
I don't see it.
Start learning how to do something
don't
for
see it.
yourself now.
When they can take health care away from young children
Yeah,
who are already suffering to get good quality health care anyway,
yeah,
when you start cutting Medicaid benefits for people who cannot, I'm gonna tell y'all something. We have health insurance, right? But it's expensive for us.
yeah,
Even when we go to the doctor and we have to pay our portion, and my husband works every single day, and so do I, right?
yeah,
So it still is expensive even for us who work. I've been working for a long time. I've been working for a long time, right? And I'm telling you, I cannot think of a time where if I needed to go to the doctor for something, I can't think of a time that I could just afford to go and drop a few $100 bills or $1,000 bill, and God forbid it's an emergency, and you got to go to the emergency room. That bill is easily $2-3 grand, and if you're not making $25-$35 an hour, who can afford to pay that?
yeah,
Right? So now you're already people who are working every day, but they still are able to get health care for their young children. Just imagine with that being slashed however which way they slashing it. It still ain't gonna be good. I don't care what they do to it, because it already ain't that good. So the bottom line here, you all, the solution here. I want us to focus on the solution, because you can't do anything to change the problem. It's literally out of your hands, it's out of your control, but you can follow through on a solution, which is to learn to grow your own food. I'm gonna tell you if you can buy seeds, which are EBT benefits from Walmart, buy them. Put them in a nice, cool, dry place to store them so that you will have them. Seeds will typically last you without any special storage. They'll last you 3 to 5 years.
yeah,
I got tomato seeds and things that I've had for like 7 or 8 years, and my seeds are still growing. I have black cherry seeds that I saved. I think the first time we grew black cherry out here, I love those seeds so much, I saved them. I still have those seeds, and they got to be 5 years old.
yeah.
And I have black cherry tomatoes growing out here right now, right? So I've had seeds, gosh, I want to say I've had seeds that were 8 years old, 10 years old even.
Yeah.
And I planted them, and they still grew just fine. And that was without any special storage. Now, it does depend. You can't have them in a hot space and all that. You can't. You really have to make sure that wherever you store them, it needs to be a cool, dry place, no moisture whatsoever for your seeds to last. But go and get the seeds. That's the solution. And in the meantime and in between time, if you ain't never grew nothing, get the seeds and learn to grow, right? Get the seeds, even though you don't know what you're doing. Buy the seeds. If you got a yard, get the fruit trees, get the berry bushes, do those things.
Yeah.
I want to say a place like Thrive Market. I say Thrive. I think Thrive Market takes EBT benefits, if I'm not mistaken. But Thrive Market, you may be able to buy some things in bulk with your EBT.
Yeah.
So if they have, like, I don't know, 20-pound bags of beans or rice or something like that, y'all need to start stocking up on your food.
Yeah.
Not to just get it and then go run through it and eat it. I want y'all to hear me if you on EBT. All right, especially my young mothers. Hear me good. Don't get it to just run through it. Don't get it to let the children grow in there and just eat everything up. No, you got to put some of this away for a hard time, because the harder times, it's already hard. The harder times are on the way, y'all. They are fast approaching.
Yeah, and my message is to the young men, the young fathers. Learn how to team up with your wife, girlfriend, or whatever. Pool your resources and grow your own food.
Grow your food.
Team up so you can feed your children.
Yeah.
You
I
know?
know what you're saying. We ain't got
Yeah.
time for that. We ain't nobody
Yeah.
got time to be in no garden. I ain't finna mess up my nails, and I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I'm
And I
telling
don't
you.
care if you got a lot of money, because you got to learn this skill.
That's right.
And your money can go so much further.
That's right.
You know, you just learning how to grow your own corn, your own tomatoes, your own eggplant, squash, watermelon.
Yeah.
These things, I'm telling you, is all natural, and it will make your children, you and your children, a lot more healthier. Where you'll stay out of the hospital.
That's true.
You know?
That's true.
Just eating natural,
That's
eating
true.
healthy, growing your own food. You know what's in it. You know, using the right fertilizer.
Yeah.
You know, don't use that messed up stuff that give you cancer, you know. You know?
All that synthetic stuff.
Yeah, don't use it.
Putting all that salt in the earth. No, listen, you all, I'm gonna say this, and I guess we'll stop, you know. But, you know, you may say, well, what seeds should I buy? Right? Think about what you eat.
Yeah.
Think about when you go to the grocery store, if you buy fresh produce, what is that? What if you don't buy fresh produce at all? You just buy everything frozen. Well, what frozen vegetables do you buy?
Yeah.
And whatever frozen vegetables you buy, those are the seeds you need to purchase.
Yeah.
Okay? So if you eat a lot of broccoli, you eat a lot of cauliflower, you eat a lot of cabbage, whatever it is, you love tomatoes and you love spaghetti, well, you definitely need to be getting some tomato seeds so you can grow as many tomato plants as you can grow in your space and learn how to make your own pasta sauce at home.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, that's where we're headed, you all.
Yeah. Yeah. And so the young fathers, the young mothers, we got to take this thing into a whole new, different and new direction.
New direction.
Hey, we got to do it.
That's right.
It's going to be better for us.
That's right.
They telling us really what they want to tell us by cutting us off.
What they saying? We sick of y'all.
We tired of y'all.
We don't want to feed America no more. Like they got the program Feeding America. They don't want to feed America anymore. You know.
And then
that's what they saying.
Yeah, you can just look at the past. 5 years, ever since 2020, all the way up until now.
Yep.
You can look at what they did with the food benefits, giving it to other people that's not native to this land.
Just follow the roadmap.
They just walked on over.
Road.
They had the food stamps. They had the thousands of dollars.
Yep.
They live in good luxury spots.
Yep.
While our people were where?
Struggling and suffering.
Y'all know where our people was.
Right. Struggling and suffering.
So
yep.
we got to do something now.
That's right.
The young mothers and fathers, don't get comfortable.
No.
Don't think it's going to be all right.
It's going to be all right if you do something. It's not going to be all right if you're going to continue to depend on them to do for you what you know you are capable of doing for yourself. There are some people who are not able, some people who are not capable, and I feel so bad for those people because none of that, who cares? Who cares, right?
Yeah.
Who cares? If you a mother and a father and you have a large family, well, you know, they don't care about that.
Yeah.
They don't care about if you got 6 children, you can't put them all in daycare. Come on, man. And then if they're at school, they're saying, well, hey, if they're at school, you don't really need food stamp benefits for them during the day. They're not at home. How do they know?
Yeah.
What about when your children are sick and they're at home?
Yeah.
What about then?
Yeah.
What about if you homeschool your children?
Yeah.
What about that?
Yeah.
Because everybody ain't sending their children to a public school system.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Some children are being schooled at home by their parents. So what about those children?
Yeah.
You see the overreach. So what are you going to tell them? Nowhere. If you're homeschooling them, that's too bad. Send them back to school.
Yeah.
Right? So
Yeah.
you don't understand the overreach here. We can see that this is far greater than talking about some snacks, y'all. Girl, this is far greater than talking about some snacks. This right here, y'all, this has a road. This has a pathway. This has a pathway. So our advice would be to go ahead and start preparing right now. If you haven't already, run to Walmart, run to the market where you can use your benefits to get yourself some seeds and some fruit trees. You can even buy the herbs in the garden center. And believe it or not, you can use your EBT benefits to buy the plants
Yeah.
Because it might be a little late to start seeds, depending on where you are. Still buy the seeds, because you're going to need those.
Yeah.
In case they decide to tell you that you can't do that anymore.
Yeah. And start,
which they will.
Yeah, and start looking at videos to show you how to garden.
Yeah.
You know, we got plenty of videos from when we struggled.
Yeah.
We showed the good, bad, and the ugly.
Yes, we did.
You know, and just start in a different direction.
Mm-hmm.
Come together and learn this thing.
That's
Even
right.
if you're 40, 50, 60 years old.
It doesn't matter.
From 17 all the way to 80.
It doesn't matter.
We got to eat.
It doesn't matter.
We all got to eat.
You all, and listen, please just take this to heart. I cannot stress this enough. I'm just so concerned about so many people. But the fact of the matter is, if they really start taking away benefits like this from families, and it gets worse and worse and worse, you got to understand what that means for the rest of this entire country. Because starving people do things. They do things.
They do things that they wouldn't do.
That they normally wouldn't do.
Normally wouldn't do because they want to feed their family.
So this is a decline right here.
It is. And we got another video coming up, y'all, to where when Mrs. H told me, hey, stop at the store, grab some things.
Yeah.
And what I saw is going to shock you.
It was crazy.
It was really crazy.
It hadn't gotten no better.
And it's coming to us like in an easy way, like real subtle.
Like frogs in hot water.
Yeah. So what I saw, we gonna do a video on it.
Yeah.
And they doing this, and it's a reason for it.
It is a reason.
It's not for the best for us.
No.
It's something that we need to see what they doing, so we will grow our own groceries. We will connect with like minds and grow what we need to grow in order to survive.
And if you got a community garden in your area, I'm going to highly suggest that you take part in that like right now, okay? Like right now, you need to secure your space. I don't know how it would work. I don't know if you have to do it ahead of time. I don't know how community gardens are ran differently in other, locations, but you need to get into a community garden. If you don't have a place in your own space to grow, start researching community gardens in your area, or start communicating with family members who got these big old backyards full of grass. Start talking to family about, hey, would you mind if I just had a little space in your backyard to grow some food, and I don't mind sharing with you, right? Work something out. But victory gardens what we need. You need them.
And then you notice that a lot of people spend good money on fertilizer to grow flowers. You cannot eat flowers and shrubs and making their yard look all beautiful.
That beautiful green grass.
Don't do it, people. Don't do it. Grow your own groceries.
Please.
And you don't need a big yard.
Yeah, that's true.
Use trellises. Use different growing techniques. They got them all on YouTube.
Yeah, it's so many people.
Vertical gardens going straight up.
Yeah.
So it's time, y'all.
It's time to grow your groceries. So please, y'all, take this for what it's worth. And if you remember, I said a few years ago that I was not going to do another video like this one, right? I said that. And here I am going back on my word, and I'm doing a video like this again, just trying to give people, just warning you, really is what it is, like I was doing then, like Mr. H and I were doing then, just warning you about things that are to come. And so we stopped doing those videos and just started focusing back more on what we've been doing all along.
But it's time now, y'all.
Yeah, please.
I've been holding back on a lot of things that I've been wanting to say. Times is getting so serious to where I'm gonna have to go ahead and let loose and say it. Because we are getting way too comfortable looking at TV, sports, day long. And then at the end of the day, we ain't got nothing for us.
Right.
Those people that's playing sports got a lot to show for it.
Yeah.
But the people that are the fans, we don't have nothing.
Yeah, we gotta have some balance. We love our football too. I mean, come on, we watch the Cowboys games look all it. Yeah, we them.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about them Cowboys, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, that game ain't more important than what I got going on out here. I mean, if I got something pressing to do for our farm or whatever, we record that game.
Yeah.
And we'll go back and watch it. We just don't talk to nobody.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But we'll go back and watch it. But that game is not priority.
Yeah.
Okay? It has a place. So when we get a moment and whatnot, yeah, we're going to sit there and we're going to watch the game.
Yeah.
But it has its place. So please, you all, please, 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 hear what we are saying. Get your seeds, your fruit trees, your berries and all of that. Find a community garden in your area. Work with family and friends.
Yeah.
Do what you can do. But y'all, no matter what, you need to be growing your groceries.
Yes, because
Okay?
I can't stress that enough.
Yeah.
That's the way how we feel. We see what they cutting with the SNAP benefits, EBT.
That's the beginning.
Yeah.
Trust me. Who cares about a darn Oreo cookie if you can't buy no Oreo cookie? I could care less. Y'all know me. I don't care nothing about all of that. I would rather bake cookies any day, right?
Yeah.
And I would rather show you how to make them any day.
Yeah.
So I could care less about that. This is more so about where this road is leading.
And it's leading to something that's more serious. In the next
Yeah.
video, I got pictures,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna show y'all something in this next video.
Yep. All right, y'all. That's going to do it. If you like the video, share the video as well. If you have
Thumbs
people,
up.
family, and friends who get EBT benefits, please share this video with them. Okay? Because the truth is that, you know, we got to start shaking one another and saying, hey, look,
Yeah.
this is happening.
Yeah.
This is happening. Get your head out of the clouds. This is happening.
And you got a family of 6 that's waiting
Yeah.
on you.
Yeah.
This is shutting down. Put that family of
Yes.
6 to work.
Yes.
Learn. Be independent with what you put in your mouth, and you don't
That's
have
right.
to depend on nobody else. Let's do it, y'all.
Grow your groceries, please.
Grow your groceries.
All right, y'all. We'll see y'all in the next video.
Peace.